Yep.
Okay. You want me to, James, you want
You don't make it a leader,
to, lead or you?
You're the chair.
Cheers.
Wrong
Cheers.
committee.
Cheers, I hit it wrong, yeah.
All right, I can do this.
All right, you got this.
Pledge of allegiance first.
Okay. Where's the,
It's over.
That way.
Ham's first.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
flag.
Oh, right.
That way. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we got the June 17th Finance and Facilities Committee meeting here. And we're gonna make a brief change to the agenda to bring public comment first.
Public comment number
Is that
one.
Public comment number 1 first.
I think we only have one on the agenda.
We only have one.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So, do we need a motion to do that?
Motion to move our public comment section to first to accommodate members of the audience.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
All right, thank you. I brought a handout for you. Pam Brown,
Yes.
Yeah, I got
Kingston. Just an update on HB 1601, or I think it's 1610, actually. I've got the numbers reversed. That is the one concerning allowing districts to retain year-end unassigned fund balances. And I know you've been interested in what's happening with that. As of 4:35 today, it has not been signed by the governor, so it might actually have to be overridden if she vetoes it. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with her office, but the Senate and House have voted to approve. And what it does is, first, it has the school boards, if it's signed, would have to get voter permission by a warrant article to set up a tax-funded contingency reserve fund. So it would not be something you could withhold out of the ending balance by board approval. It would have to actually be approved as a warrant article. And I look at it as an umbrella policy, like I've got on my house, in case someone uses my swings by the pond and the swing breaks and something happens. And there's no cap on the amount you could withhold, it looks like, according to the bill language, but because it's all under contingency fund, there is a cap on the next section that they had revised. And the next section, the new bill has revised, has to do with retaining any year-end balances. So currently, if there has been retained year-end balances into the next year, all you need is a public hearing to use it, and there's no restriction on the use or purpose of retained balance. But the revised bill, as written, indicates that now any funds used must be due to an unusual circumstance per RSA 3211. And they also require that any amount retained, carried over, is capped at 3% of current year's fiscal appropriation total. And finally, it rescinds any existing retained unassigned funds that have been banked over time, and it would go into effect after passage. So it's really constraining school boards. They have to get voter approval for a contingency reserve fund, like any other reserve fund. It's kind of an attempt to increase transparency and accountability, because a lot of districts have large ending balances and they just start spending, and voters are concerned about that. So you have to justify withholding money for an emergency. And I think this is gonna cause boards to spend their ending balances this year because it's going into effect immediately. And for at-risk needs, and it's also going to probably increase districts' facility budget requests because they can't rely on an ending balance to cover anything they haven't, purchased yet. And it will probably push boards to increase insurance coverage possibly. I don't know. Those are just some thoughts I have. So just wanted to update you on that.
This isn't the same thing as the
Tax cap?
The 2.5% thing?
It is, it's the contingency that we do, that we voted in April. Sorry, are you saying 2.5 that we want to give back to the taxpayers? Okay,
I'm saying the thing where,
Rick changed it to 1.75.
That
Yes, so that was for emergency purposes for the contingency, that is that. But it doesn't include the 2.5 million that we're trying to give back to the taxpayers.
okay, I'm talking, forget about this budget year. I mean, generally speaking, since I've been on the board, I've been told that the board has always been empowered to retain up to 2.5%, which would go back the following year if unused.
Yes,
Right.
Does this change that?
Well, it's related, it's the first part of this new bill, and it states it has to be approved by voters.
that's what a warrant article.
It has to go on a warrant article instead of just being taken out of an ending surplus.
Mhm.
And in other words, you have to justify to taxpayers. It's just like any other cushion.
Mhm.
It's like an umbrella policy that we need.
Right, the 10% is what threw me off. I mean, I can understand it.
Oh, that was a number that James had brought up as a industry standard, 10%
For
as a cushion.
for facilities specific, not
Yeah.
aggregate budget. Yeah, so that
Okay.
was very narrow to,
Okay,
facilities maintenance and
oh,
construction.
I see, all right, I misunderstood, but anyway, I think you could sell it to the taxpayers. I'm not saying you couldn't do that, but it was a way to, because taxpayers have complained about spending at the end of the year and what's going on, and it is a cushion that we have available. So I think that was the point of the bill, and
So we'll have to keep a close eye on the governor's signature and adoption, because obviously the warrant article timing will be important, to do that well before,
Yeah.
the end of the year. So that's it.
so I am thinking that you may pursue that boiler expense tonight, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, this is
I'm
certainly
not saying,
relevant, this is certainly relevant for,
because you don't know what this bill's gonna do, but, I already emailed you my thoughts on that, so.
Yeah, I
Okay,
appreciate
that's all I
that.
had
Thank
for you. It doesn't seem to specify a cap on the contingency fund amount.
Mm.
But later, when it comes to an unexpended balance carried over, which is, I was told, a separate issue. It seems like they're both related to the same contingency fund, because it's under that RSA.
Mhm.
But I was told, oh no, it's two different buckets of money. That's a poorly written bill right there in my mind, but
Sausage.
shocking. I know.
It's sausage.
It's shocking. Okay, so that's all I've got for you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you for your
Let
comments,
you know what happens.
and good luck tonight with Rockingham.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, so that ends the public comment, because there are no additional members of the public present. So we'll get back on track to the agenda, which is the approval of the meeting minutes from 6/3.
Make a motion to approve the 6/3/2026 Finance Facility Subcommittee minutes.
They look great. I second the motion. Yes. All right. Now moving into new business on the financial side.
Yes,
So
so
rundown.
as of May, the the inflation rate jumped to 5% as of May, and last month it was 4.4. The encumbrances through June 12th. I should put a total this time so you guys wouldn't. Is 6.2 million still in encumbrances here, but that was way before the last payroll, which was going out tomorrow, so that's slightly different now.
Okay.
The operating cash we have in both cash accounts is $5,715,137.38, which is held at TD and then the New Hampshire PDIP. The trust balances I have updated through May 31st. And, excuse me, the Special Ed Expendable Trust Fund earned $1,998.61 in May to bring us to a total of $651,053.77. The Capital Improvement and Maintenance Capital Reserve earned $1,509.85, bringing that trust fund to $491,832.69. The Unanticipated Educational Expense Capital Reserve Fund earned 906.91, bringing that one to a total of 295, 416.30. And unanticipated utility cost, $614.61 in interest earned, bringing that fund to $200,210.69. And then the facility use revolving, the building revenue came in at $25,512.82. And nothing has been expended against that yet. You'll see that in June, which we had voted last week. But that brings that facility use revolving to $431,321.38. And then the contingency, the 2.5 that Pam was just talking about from the prior year, is $670,271. If we don't spend that, which we can't spend unless it's an emergency and everything is expended, that will go back. And then the new $489,000 that we voted the 1.75%, that will be our new one for the following year, if all goes well. So the grand total of all of those reserves is $2,069,000. Oh, actually, it was $2,740,105.83 with the contingency. And I have no budget adjustments for today. But I did want to bring up pro staff driving school back in September. We agreed to let pro staff driving school, we were going to charge them a fee for when he does his programs here. And we didn't have an MOU. I just reached out to Rick Terrio because I sent him the invoice. And during that September meeting, we said that we were going to go through the pro staff driving school annually and make sure that we have an updated memorandum of agreement, which I prepared that. So if you guys are good with that, I can send that to Rick Terrio, but it just mirrors the one that we approved in September. And it just updates it with the current dates with the $450 for each session.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that something we have to vote on?
Sorry?
Do we have to motion on that? I don't think so.
Well, that's regular business by the business administrator is how I would do it.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah.
But we did invoice him for this past fiscal year. So that should be coming soon. And that's all I have for new business. And I know the old business is the end of year funds priority list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to let everybody know that, if you don't already know, that Steve St. Cyr, the president of Sanborn Community Basketball, is going to come to talk about letter B. So,
Okay.
but he's currently, ironically, coaching middle school girls basketball at Swayze right now.
That's great.
So
Yeah.
is going to have to make it over here. We may have to flop some things around, that's all. That's all
Totally fine.
Okay.
That's great.
So we could do the capital improvement plan first or whatever.
Why don't we start with the priority list?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dan's been super busy.
All right, so on your spreadsheet there, if you look at the right column where the check boxes are, means that we have secured a PO for those items. And they're in the works right now, being scheduled and completed, okay? There is an item there, the propane tanks, that hasn't been checked because I'm still shopping for propane, but it shouldn't be more than 15,000. The loading dock, item number 3 there, loading dock came in at $49,060. It's up considerably because concrete costs have skyrocketed. Plus, we've noticed that we want to do a couple thresholds for the auto shop. When you go in the overhead doors, it's all rotted out, so we're going to saw cut that, do concrete there, put in a bollard at the loading dock so the dumpster doesn't hit the stairs. We're going to put in aluminum stairs like we did at Bakey. So we've kind of jazzed it up more.
Scope's expanded.
Yeah, the scope is definitely expanded, okay? I've only got one bid on that. I've called a couple other contractors and they are booked up for the summer and not interested in bidding. So I'm asking your permission, if we want to move forward with that project, to accept that bid by the same company that has done work for us in the past. They did the Bakey loading dock already. They've done quite a bit of work for us. They did the dugouts for us when that collapsed, 2 years ago. They're also got the contract for doing the Bakey chimney. They're tearing that down and doing that. So they're local and they've done business with us. So I'm requesting that we move forward on that project based on one bid.
You've been pleased with previous projects, sounds like?
Absolutely. That's why we keep
And
calling
you
them
keep
back.
calling and hiring.
You got it. So
I have no problem with that.
You put the requests out to more than one companies and just,
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I think that's totally fine.
Okay, so moving on to the next item, number 7, the parent drop-off awning area, that came in at $49,633. Same issue there. Can't find a contractor to do it. The contractor that's gonna do the loading dock is willing to do that also. What that entails is we're gonna leave the roof in place, weld new columns in there that go from about waist high to below the ground. We're gonna tear out all the concrete, the curbing, put ADA ramps in, extend the patio area out there to the right, so we can actually create a ramp that goes up onto
Kind of
it.
in front of the boiler room doors.
Yeah, exactly. Put a
Yeah.
gutter there. He's also including scraping and painting and getting it all to a 100% completion there. Once again, put it out to multiple companies, and due to time constraints and companies being booked already through the summer, he came in at $49,633. Making another request that we move forward on that project without having multiple bids.
So 3 different unique projects, same contractor. Can they get them all done prior to day 1 of school in the fall?
That's the hope. So if we can get this approved tonight, then he'll get a PO tomorrow, hopefully, and he can get it scheduled.
Think you can get that in the contract? The
I
guaranteed
think we can,
completion
yeah, I can,
date? With the whole
yeah,
group of
I can
projects?
definitely do that. He's also the one that's punching the holes in the siding upstairs too.
Okay.
So, I mean, like I said, he does a lot of work for us, and he
Yeah.
does fair pricing and does good work, so.
Yeah, I would say that that's a smart and fine approach, and understanding it's hard to get a bunch of contractors to jump when you're in a time constraint
Right.
thing. I push hard for guaranteed completion dates.
You got it.
before the
I will
kids-
definitely do that.
Yeah, that's maybe, that's the advantage to not having to go out to some additional bidders, in addition to the folks you already looked out for.
Okay, so with your approval,
If we check these boxes, the loading dock, this is just a whether or not there's a PO. It doesn't change any of these amounts.
no, it doesn't.
Right. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Do we need to, if we're gonna, I'm always asking, do we need a motion? I think we need a
Yeah,
motion.
yeah,
Yeah,
just-
just so we
Yeah.
see a bundle to say, and is
Yeah.
that, are there any additional ones? Cause we
Yes.
can, okay,
Yep.
let's bundle them all
So
together.
the, item number 39 there, paving of the athletic garage area came in at $13,295. I called Petra Paving, they've done our paving in the past. I called 2 other contractors. One of them was not even willing to do work with us because we don't ever give them the work. Another one said that's the problem. When you go to the same well all the time, the other
I
contractors
get it,
know it.
yeah.
One of the contractors, was New England Paving, was interested, but they can't do it until the fall. So,
I've had interesting experiences.
but, I'll be honest with you, $13,295 is the price that they gave me, last year, and they're still gonna honor that price. So they didn't increase that price from last year. They just said, we'll keep it at the same. So, and Petra has done a
Yeah,
lot
they've
of
done
our
a lot of
work.
work for us.
So, once again, they're out of
Yep.
Hampstead, local, they do a lot of stuff here in the community, and that's what I try very hard to do, is keep our contractors local if I can.
Mhm.
So that would be the third item I'm requesting that we, that you vote on as far as not getting a
Mhm.
third bid, for that job there.
And they can do that work this summer.
So I will, I'll make a motion to circumvent the policy for the sake of expediency and extreme, the difficulty of getting bids and the timeline, getting the work done, the importance of getting the work done before school begins. Circumvent the policy to get 3 bids and move forward with the bids that you've received for the paving of the athletic garage, the middle high loading dock, Give me the other one.
Awning.
The
And
paragraph
the
on
and the
Memorial.
awning project at Memorial.
Second, brief discussion on that, just because I think it's important for anybody watching. Dan's done a great job in soliciting 3 bids for every single one of these things,
Right.
which is really the intent, I think, of that policy. So it's not like we're
Due
just going
diligence
to
on
the
that.
same contractor again and again. The outreach has been made, and
Right.
only one contractor has been responsive enough to complete this work within the budgets and scopes that we previously approved in the timeframe that's important. So that's what I heard from
Yes,
Dan.
that is correct.
Yeah, and I just think that's a fairly important
It
distinction.
is. It is.
So with that clarification, I don't think that needs to go into the motion. Good to vote.
All in favor?
Okay.
Unanimous.
Want to bring up another bit of new business, which isn't good news by any means. RTU 5 on the high school here has finally given up the ghost. I have a letter from E&E, who is our contractor that does our work up there. And I can read it to you, or you can read it yourself, but they're basically saying the unit needs to be replaced. I'm paraphrasing here. The lifespan of that unit is 15 years, it's 21 years old. Refrigerant is R22, which is no longer being used. And when they can get it, it's very expensive. The coil has been refixed many times. They feel that if they fill with R22, we're just going to be going back every couple months filling it with more R22. They told me that the unit is rusting from the bottom up, which is happening to all the units up there. We've already replaced the compressor in it, and that is starting to squeal, so that's about ready to go out. The only good thing about this unit is that we can still run heat through this unit during the winter months. It's just we will not be able to air condition the middle school downstairs area. There's a series of 6 classrooms that are air conditioned by that unit, and we wouldn't be able to use the air conditioned portion of that unit anymore. The reason why that unit was put in shortly after the school was built is because at the time, if they needed classroom space for a child that needed special needs as far as respiratory issues or heat issues, they would have some classrooms that were cooled. So losing these classrooms means that we have no general classrooms that are cooled. The other kicker on this is this is a Rockingham County relocation site for the emergency management program, and one of those classrooms was air conditioned purposely because it becomes our morgue for the county. So that was the other reason why air conditioning was put in that section of the building, so it would be a temporary morgue if there was an issue in the county. Just throwing it out there. So just so you know all the information of why the air conditioning was put in originally shortly after the building was built. I've then got that, so I ran to Siemens. To replace that single unit would be $350,000 to $400,000.
That's everything.
That's
Labor.
everything, crane work,
That 107 was just
contractors,
the equipment.
Just the
workers.
unit.
Mhm.
Yeah. The time on that would still be 20 weeks, so we're talking November before we could even get that unit in place, if we choose to do it during the school year. Now, if we're gonna do a lift during the school year, we'd have to evacuate that portion of the building. So my gut tells me is what we need to probably do here, since it's still producing heat. All right, finish out this year without air conditioning, and then maybe tackle it next summer. But to let you know, there's a $400,000 bill sitting in front of us there, and it's not gonna get cheaper,
Oh, good.
but,
And it was definitely a red one.
and it's definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and this has been part of the overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is part of the group that we know.
It is. So my thought is do we
Bundle a few.
do we bundle a few for next summer? Because you're now paying for a crane, which is very expensive. And you have your electricians, HVAC guys here all at one time already. So do we capture a couple of the lower cost units and bundle 4 or 5 of them together and do that next summer? The other option is we do nothing and there's no air conditioning in those classrooms, and we just hope that the heat keeps running in that unit, but we're hoping that for all the units.
It's a separate compressor, right?
in there? Is that for
It-
AC versus heat? Yeah.
Well, the heat is electric in
Yeah.
the unit, so it runs off an electrical coil in that rooftop.
And
So we're not at risk of losing heat. We're just, we've lost the air
The
conditioning.
functionality
Yeah.
that the building was designed to have.
You got it.
But clean air still goes through the system.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's still air circulation,
Okay.
everything going through the system. So, it's, in my opinion, it's not critical, but we have to act on something, I would assume, next summer for sure on this, simply because it does, hopefully we don't get any kids that have respiratory issues that need, classrooms that have conditioned air or whatever, because we don't have any general classrooms at this point to have conditioned air. We have the library, we have the office space, we have the auditorium, we have the big gym.
Memorial.
Well, Memorial
many splits.
has mini splits, but that doesn't serve our high school kids.
Right,
and,
yeah.
So, and,
I'm thinking of a morgue scenario.
well, but we
Yeah,
can't because they don't have
That's a
generators.
different facility, yeah.
Yeah, we have generators and emergency power here. We don't have that at any other school, so that's why Rockingham County chose this
Chose
building.
this building.
So,
Right.
and my hope is nothing ever happens when we need to open up a
Right,
morgue
we got
here
bigger problems,
anyways,
we got
but,
bigger problems there.
yeah.
Okay, this is good to know. I feel like, how much is it gonna cost us to keep it? If we did want to try and limp it along with AC, how much does that cost?
I would say not do it, because with the R22 leaking out of it, you'd be chasing your tail forever and spending a lot of money doing it. I mean, I don't want to sound crass, but the other teachers don't have AC and they're doing fine with fans. The purpose of this would be more or less for students that have some type of issue as far as cooling.
Yeah.
But presently, I don't believe we've had any students in our population that have any type of distress issues like that.
And worst case scenario, and we did need to meet that student need, we could find some other,
Portable unit outside or,
Portable
yeah,
unit,
I mean,
whatever.
it's gonna cost money, but.
yeah, but
obviously-
we could solve that.
Yeah.
Quickly if we needed to.
Right, so
in a
that's
much
what I'm
smaller
saying, it's
scale.
not urgent, but this is kind of the beginning of.
Yeah, and
what's
I
taking
view
place.
this as an important signal,
Mhm.
right? I
You
mean,
got it.
the manufacturing timeframe, the install timeframe, the maintenance timeframe is the same for every single one of those units. So,
And it's a 20-week lead.
yeah, so
So
this
we have to
is,
start talking about this in January.
yeah,
Well, actually, we have to start before then, because if we're gonna do a warrant article
Oh,
for it,
true,
we
but
need to
I'm
start
saying-
talking about this in September when we reconvene.
Right.
and I think that's what I'm hearing is that we've been talking about this, right?
Oh, yeah.
We know,
Oh, yeah.
we know
This is a public
but,
thing, and-
but I think that this really forces the need for that warrant article soon to do. I think my strong preference would be to do everything all at once.
Well, I
On
tend to
this
agree with you,
specific
because
building.
we tend to kick the can down the road, and you might as well just bite the bullet once and do it all at once, in my opinion.
And we know that this specific building is, a major part of the future of the
Right.
district, no matter what
And,
happens.
and to be fiscally responsible to the taxpayers here, it would be very costly to bring a crane in for a day and do one lift, when you can do multiple lifts for a lot less,
Yeah.
because the crane they bring in is gonna be huge.
Yeah.
We've got to reach the center of this roof, and there is no easy pick point out there, so it's gonna be a huge crane when they bring that in here.
So what percentage of the crane is that, 350?
I
400?
don't know that. They didn't break it out that way. I said, just give me a budget number at this
I
point.
feel like 20 or 30.
15 to 20 for a day.
Yeah,
for a big
it's
night.
about 20,000
Yeah.
a day. It's not cheap. And you're probably talking about having if we do them all at one time, you're probably talking about a crane outside here for 3 or 4 days. It's probably gonna be about $100,000 just to get a crane here. So,
Okay, so let's consider that an important informational update.
yeah, and I would
Um,
suggest we put it on the agenda for September's meeting.
Yeah.
Not July, and I think August is too soon with everybody starting again. I'm thinking maybe the beginning of September, if you would agree with
It's gonna
that.
have to go
Yeah,
out there
to,
too.
to the whole group and,
Right.
but we should be very clear about our need to,
Start
get a
acting.
warrant article
Mhm.
going.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you were agreeing with me as far as delaying that, because like I said, at this time, we don't have a student that has a special need for that. And if the situation does arise, then we'll have to act quickly as far as another plan.
Okay, I think that's right. Thank you. And we should not forget that this is the beginning, not the end of the problem.
Yeah, it is. This is the very beginning of the problem here.
actually quite lucky it's the AC and not the heating.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
If it was gonna
Um,
happen, it was better, it was that way.
As far as that goes, I don't have anything else really to discuss.
Sticking with the end of year funds on the priority list, because we want to make sure to create basketball time. Thanks for running here right after practice. I appreciate it. Game, sorry.
Oh, we had just taken the lead. We were down 13 when we put on the press, and we had just taken the lead.
Who knows what's gonna happen there.
Is there anything on this project list, the priority list that we had voted on to approve the funds last week? We talked about it a little bit. We made some decisions. Is there anything else that you think needs immediate attention here?
Everything's been addressed except for the dump truck. I've taken that off the list. I just think it's foolish to spend that kind of money on a vehicle.
And
When
you
we're
got,
looking
you
at
got
buying
scope
another vehicle.
increases and budget overruns and some of the other line items. So this keeps you underneath.
Yeah, I think what was the final number on that? We still came in like over $100,000 less than our projected.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The 98, what, are you talking the
98,714?
714?
Yeah. Yeah, so even though some were over, a lot of them were under.
Right.
So
Which is great. I mean, that scope increase for both the loading docks and
So this
Memorial
is
sounds smart.
still a thing, as of right now.
Yeah, it's getting higher actually, because there's, today I took the numbers and just threw it in really quick just to see, because last week you had 3.3 to start you off.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down to 3,047,000, but that includes all of these projects that are already checked off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
So-
numbers are looking really good.
Yes, because the big, huge balloon payroll was done today, so right before I left, because Lisa just posted everything, and I'm like, oh, let me just grab the expenditures real quick. And
Okay.
yeah. So it's looking pretty good.
Nice work. We should also not forget how challenging it has been in 2 weeks, I'm sure, to get all those requests for quotes
Yeah,
out.
I think Barry and everybody saw me running around this
And
office for the last 2 weeks.
There's that little checkbox means a lot of work.
Yeah, it
So
does.
thank you for that. We know we did not set you up.
Been my pleasure, actually, so.
I don't see how, but we'll take your word for it.
No, I mean, hey, I'm always up for a
We love
challenge, and this was a
spending
challenge, so.
Well, these things have been on your list for a while, and now they're getting done.
Well, and not for nothing, even though we haven't tackled any of the large problems, this does take a lot of the smaller items off my whiteboard in my office of
Mhm.
things to do.
Which are often the ones that take time. Right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So,
Okay.
Things that get.
I'm grateful either way.
all right.
Okay.
Well, let's switch now to fee structure. We have additional guests here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking kind of this is publicly, just so you're
Public
aware,
comment.
but yes.
Got it. Steve St. Cyr.
James, nice to meet you.
Oh.
I'll go
Kathy
in.
Rockwell.
Kathy, thanks for coming. I'm so sorry you guys didn't
Steve.
get to
Hi.
see the end of your game.
Marie Mundy.
I was running here from work too. I'm so sorry you guys didn't get to see the end of your game.
Oh, well, it's not me, so that was middle
It's,
school.
oh.
My kids, so I'll introduce
Go
myself
for it,
because you
yeah,
have he's gonna go through the spiel. But, so I've been a Newton resident for over 20 years. We have 3 kids in the school district. One graduated with the class of 2025. And then I have an incoming freshman and then senior. So, and I've been volunteering with Sanborn Community Basketball for 13 years.
Thank you.
And our big group most is K through 8. And so I'm no longer coaching as of this winter. And so shifting more just helping behind the scenes volunteering booster side.
Long tenure of coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go through it. This was, very poured over in the last few days, and so I don't wanna, miss anything, but. Good evening, members of the Facilities Subcommittee. Thank you for your time today. My name is Stephen St. Cyr, and I am the Sanborn Middle School girls basketball coach. I am also the president of Sanborn Community Basketball, perhaps better known as Rec Basketball. I've been a Newton Kingston resident with 3 girls in the school district since 2013, and I've been a volunteer with Sanborn Community Basketball for the past 8 years. If you're not familiar, the rec program has been active in the community for over 15 years. We offer low-cost year-round programs like weekly skills, team practices, and 2 levels of league play for our youth starting in kindergarten through 8th grade. These programs are aligned with the development of the growth objectives set by Sanborn varsity coaches and the athletic department, and the broader Sanborn profile of success set forth by the Sanborn School Board. For our high schoolers, we supplement the Sanborn athletics program by providing year-round weekly skills sessions run by professional coaches. For Kingston, Newton, and Fremont residents beyond school age, we offer pickup ball and gym availability for them as well. Beyond our recreational programming, Sanborn Community Basketball also runs the High School Boosters, which supports and collaborates directly with Sanborn School District's athletic department and the varsity, junior varsity, and middle school coaches. We help organize senior nights and team building events. We purchase warm-ups for both high school varsity teams. We sponsor college scholarships, gym equipment, and bring in guest coaches, trainers, and speakers that directly benefit Sanborn student athletes. Most recently, in 2025-26 school year, we had 224 youth winter program players, 140 in the fall and spring skills sessions, and 24 volunteer coaches, adult coaches. We even have a pool of 8 to 12 high school players that get involved coaching and refereeing the youth program players. The number of participants in our program continues to grow every year. We did the numbers, and in fact, we have seen an increase of 18.5% increase from 21 to 2025 when Kathy and I took over. Sanborn Community Basketball exists to grow community and to develop young leaders as people and athletes through basketball, instilling values such as character, teamwork, confidence, and sportsmanship. Our goals include growing youth leadership and teaching life skills, building fundamental basketball skills, developing players who ultimately become players for the school district, building community, and having fun. In short, Sanborn Community Basketball serves hundreds of local children each year, provides affordable access to youth sports, develops future student athletes for the school Sanborn basketball programs, and creates opportunities for volunteerism, leadership, and community engagement. We're not simply a facility user, we see ourselves as a community partner to the school district. Last week, Sanborn Community Basketball was notified of the new facility usage rate for Swayze at $137 per day. We've run the numbers, and the rate set forth at that facility subcommittee meeting are programmatically unsustainable. It's important that the facilities committee and the school board understand that imposing significant daily fees does not simply impact the Sanborn Community Basketball. It impacts local families, limits participation opportunities for children, and affects many other community organizations that provide valuable services throughout the district that also use the gym. That said, we fully recognize, appreciate, and understand as taxpayers and residents in the school that the school district is in a position of low usage and high financial commitment. So, in an effort to partner financially with the school district, we are here today to propose a more sustainable short-term daily rate, and more importantly, to propose a plan for the community to help the school district keep and maintain Swayze Gym. Over the last week, Sanborn Community Basketball has had discussions with the town of Kingston, the Kingston Recreation Commission, the Pickleball Committee, Sanborn Baseball Softball Association, the town of Newton, the Newton Recreation Commission, and our skills partner, Synergy Basketball. We haven't had much time, so most conversations are still ongoing. However, community stakeholders led by Sanborn Community Basketball are willing to make an annual contribution of $15,000 toward the cost of Swayze Gym as a signal of our commitment to the shared space and to incentivize the district to renew the lease for the next 5-year term. Sanborn Community Basketball is the flagship organization using Swayze Gym, and so we will cover the lion's share of the contribution. But we've received several soft commitments from other stakeholders, and we expect to receive more support in the coming days. As community partners, we shared financial. As community partners with shared financial commitment to Swayze, it is our hope that Sanborn Community Basketball and community stakeholders will be recognized as community organizations, and as such, be allowed priority in terms of availability and scheduling, second to the needs of the school district. We would also humbly request that the Sanborn Regional School District commit to keeping Swayze Gym in the community by signing the forthcoming 5-year renewal lease. Signing the renewal lease will allow Sanborn Community Basketball and the community stakeholders enough time to iron out a plan to offload the gym from the school district permanently, either by taking over the lease or outright ownership. We understand that the annual contribution and lease renewal is likely a larger conversation that can't be resolved here today, but we want to outline our intent, show our commitment to partnering with the district on a solution, and start to move forward. In the interim, we've calculated our hourly usage rate based on a 10-hour day and converted it to an average daily rate of $75 per day for our 2026 summer usage. So today, I would request that the members of the facilities subcommittee vote to amend the facility usage rate for the recognized community organizations for this summer to $75 per day, with all payments credited to the annual contribution of $15,000. In good faith, an agreement can be reached between all parties. Thank you very much for your time. Happy to answer any comments, questions, and or concerns.
Thank you. Thank you both for being here. And just to be super clear, there's no doubt of the value that you guys and your organization plays in our community. So broad agreement. And I also appreciate a solution or a potential solution instead of just, So thank you for that and all the conversation you guys have had. And just to be, as a person, if this created a fire drill for you guys in the past 2 weeks, I apologize for that.
Mostly Steve took on that, I took on the financial side.
There's about 20 people behind us that
Awesome.
We had great input for and also serve the community just as deeply as we do.
Awesome. So I like this idea. Here's the challenge that we're trying to solve here. The number to operate that specific building is $50,000 a year. So right, that cost must be covered. And what we have heard, both in this committee, the school board, and the taxpayers in general, have said, we cannot pay for things that the community does not use, right? So we got to figure out how to cover that $50,000 nut on an annual basis. And that's exactly how we got to that daily rate. And it's actually not, it's actually too low, right? And I don't know if you watched our meeting when we discussed it, but it was 365, 50,000, that's the annual budget divided by 365 equals 137. That's how we got there. I just want to give you like the context.
I guess I would argue, because I've had kids go through the middle school basketball program, they use the gym for practice, for games. We sometimes get bumped, when the games go longer, our practices don't start till later. We might ask for 6 p.m., but they don't get done till 6:30. And so we've lived it, breathed it. Our kids are there. Steve's coaching, but it's not a daily rate. You can't use the gym for a day, right?
Totally.
So like on Saturdays when we use it for games all day, that's one thing. But if we're only going in for 2.5 hours, and the middle school's using it, like we're not going to boot the middle school out, but as a daily rate. And if I was in business, right? If I was an outside business, I'd be like, I want it for the day for 137 or whatever the rate it ends up being. And so I think having it as a daily rate is a challenging when our school uses it so much.
So much of the same days.
Yeah, it's all, yeah, so it's 72, 7 days a week in the winter, that's basketball season.
Totally.
And so, it's finding that balance so that we can keep the
There are-
program going.
There are definitely logistical issues with a daily rate. The reason we came to propose a different daily rate is because it's meant to be an interim solution so that we can start providing financial support and, keep things moving and then move more towards an annual rate.
That all makes sense, especially the scheduling piece. The challenge we face is whether it's used 1 hour a day or 23 hours a day or 1 day a year or 365 days a year. It costs $50,000 a year. So every dollar.
What does it cost? Some years it's 50, some it's 42.
It could be anywhere from 42 to 60,000 a year, depending on, and that's
We
just.
we picked 50 as the
Yeah.
average in
Yeah.
the trailing 3 months.
And that's just to own it. That doesn't include any improvements or anything.
So that's our challenge, right? And when it has to come from somewhere, and the really consistent feedback we've heard from non-users of the facility, or really non-users of the school building, so other community members, is why should I have to pay for something I don't use? So
So that's an interesting point. A counterpoint would be for 85% of the community, that's true of the entire school.
yeah, I mean,
And yet-
these are the comments
Right?
that I'm
This is what
getting.
you're getting, right? So
Yeah.
the argument is,
You have the opportunity too, you could do adult pickup basketball, you could play pickleball.
Sure.
Sure.
Right?
but I mean, there is a sense in which I sympathize with the community being like, this building
Sure.
costs all this and we don't use it. But there's also, there is a,
The value that
The value.
the program provides to the
and
community. And
there's also the potential value too, I think, of like, what could be done with the space if we really leaned
I
into
mean,
it.
I get both sides. That's
Yeah.
why we're here to
Yeah.
help on your side as well.
And so we can't go too far into the logistics of any future plans, but I think that both Sanborn Community Basketball, I don't want to speak out of turn for you guys, but the district and Sanborn Community Basketball align on a goal of the school not having it on our budget anymore, eventually, right? Like I
It's
don't,
just how to get it.
That's
to that
that's the
point, right?
that's
I
the
think that's
the
the
true
overnight.
problem. And with users who make such positive community impact, like you guys, which is a successful growing youth sports program, that's important.
It's student retention as
Yeah.
well. I will say that my son is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, we looked at other schools and we've had two go through the school, and we looked, and he applied, he got in, and we've said, no, we're gonna stick with this. He has the opportunity to play, the program's good, he loves basketball. And we're gonna give it a whirl. So it is actually sports do, and as well as the arts, right? It provides that
All of it. You
potential
gotta do all
retention.
of
It's gotta be
those.
something drawing you there.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, so last time we talked about this out there, the real question was about the lease, like, are we gonna renew for the next 5 years? And the board voted to table that until we had a better understanding.
Closer to the lease date.
Closer to
Closer to the lease date,
Right.
In case it was
it would give us,
mechanical issues that took place.
right, and it would give us a better understanding to figure out the cost and how the path forward with fee structures and yada yada. So that's December 16th was the day that the lease was done. We had a preliminary meeting with Chinburg,
Paul Goodwin and,
Paul Goodwin.
Peter Chipper.
Yeah, and we got good insights that we want to get confirmation on, because it was sort of more of an informal conversation. But we got good insights about their sort of the future of that facility and what it could look like. So I think everyone's sort of moving towards a new reality. I mean, it seems like the purpose of this is to try to figure out how to get there without breaking anything on anybody's, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Our budget, their program, that whole thing. So how do we figure that out?
So just so I understand, what I think I heard, the proposal on the table is all of the primary users today of the Swayze gym, whether it's pickleball, baseball, I know more about the baseball stuff because, you know, the Hasselbecks are not basketball all-stars. But led by you guys as the primary users and the most successful are willing to commit to a $15,000 donation, which is effectively, you know,
User fee.
yeah, that's the user fee, which is a portion of the budget. The school, if it's still true that the district, we're using that roughly 1/8 of the time.
You got summer ball now?
And that's what's going on right now.
It is.
Today, it's all Wednesdays, all
It's high
girls basketball, middle school games are going on. The high school games are going on in the big gym. Middle school is at.
Okay, that wasn't brought up in Ryan's report. Athletic director.
So maybe a little higher than what, so that's, you know, same kind of daily, super simple math.
They
You know,
also
we're-
use it in the spring for baseball, softball, before they can get out onto the fields.
Oh, yes, it is.
So there's-
Really great to have that building.
So there's like a couple months.
Yeah,
No,
essentially,
but,
that-
very
but they
good
use
to
Chase Fieldhouse for that. They don't use the gym. Because they don't have
There's a
access
field
to it.
house?
Yeah, Chase Field. So,
The long skinny.
Yeah, they're also, they're in
No,
Swayze.
there's, I've seen,
There's ways, I mean, I know
they
there's,
don't have access to it, so I don't know how the hell
I
they're
don't know
getting
how
in
the,
there.
I don't know how the baseball, I don't know how the soft baseball marks get on the floor, but they do.
I've
they
been
used
there.
to,
But
I
that's
know
youth
like the
baseball.
Thompson kids.
Yeah,
they-
but it's,
That's not our-
it's, no, it's not the high
It's
school
not
team.
the high
Yeah,
school
no,
team.
I'm out of the high school.
Oh,
What
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying
The
to
high
get
school
to
team did at some point, a few years back.
A few years back, but not anymore.
Okay.
with your proposal and the school's portion, right, which they should pay for, we're at like $25,000, even if it's a little higher than 1/8 of the time. So we gotta find, you know, for this proposal work, which makes sense, we gotta find in between now and December, another $25,000.
I mean, I think, I mean, just thinking out loud.
We don't have to find it right now in this
No.
moment in time, but for this proposal to work, that's our target.
I think our goal was to start helping, not, I mean, I don't think there's an organization in town or any collection of organizations in town that could, you know, cover their actual
Yeah.
usage. And I think also our point is kind of, we are part of the Sanborn School District. We are supporting all the athletics here. And theoretically, in some part, that's participating.
It's the theater program, it's really important.
I would actually argue that the goal of making it revenue neutral isn't necessarily, doesn't recognize perhaps the intangible value that that the building provides. Right? Like if we came up with 25 grand, the question isn't, it might be, where do we come up with another 25? Or the question is having it worth 25,000 to us? Does it provide enough value? Which is something we can discuss with the board.
With the board and the community,
Right.
really. I
Yeah.
mean, just
And-
to be totally
Yeah.
frank, I think it does provide that value.
Absolutely.
And I'm also trying to be responsive to
Yeah.
the many phone
I would-
calls and emails
And
that
I
I
would,
get.
and on the
You
record,
will get.
on the,
And you will get.
and I'll say this, on
So
the
that,
record,
I want to level with you totally transparent.
Yeah.
That's
would say-
my challenge.
I would say on the record,
Youth kid.
right, into the microphone and into the public, you know, $25,000 on a 40, help me, 41, oh yeah, on a $41 million budget is pennies for a lot of value, right, for the community.
But I also want to bring up though, that's what's happening now. That doesn't, if I have to do some major infrastructure repairs, that costs a lot of money.
Sure.
The parking lot needs to be repaved. There's not a street light out there that's working. The front entrance has failed. We need a whole new front entrance. We have to put.
But I
money
think
in
that that's separate from what we're talking about.
Well, but I understand, but those will run into operational costs, so eventually here, I'm just saying, those are real numbers. I mean, we're
And
gonna
those are-
have to look at putting a
and
$250,000 into that building.
Totally, and when we talk about. the
And I
time
don't
for
expect
that-
them to pay for
Yeah,
it, but
no,
I'm
and
just
the
saying.
time for that conversation is at the lease renewal time, right? I mean, the problem we're trying to solve for right now is how do you get your program to go like next week, right? This is like.
Right.
urgent.
Yeah, and
So I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we're guaranteeing them a period up till December 16th at this point. That's it. That's all we can guarantee to them right now.
Right.
Okay.
So there, I guess.
And the
what they're
program
saying
as it's
is-
run right now without Swayze Gym will not happen the way it is, right?
It's just
We can
not.
the
Yeah,
We'd be
Bakey and
charging
Memorial,
people too much.
and Bakey in Memorial,
So
the
with-
courts are not regulation, so like where I mean, the free throw line is
Oh,
short
yeah,
and
sure.
so it's
It's
just
not a
not.
wood floor,
no.
it's tile, it's.
So what you guys are saying though is, we have this short-term next week issue, but also
Before the lease,
as we deliberate about with the board about what we're gonna do in the future, this is an option. This sort of annual contribution from the community partners is a factor that we should
that we
consider.
must consider.
We will consider, yes.
So what is the time period that this contribution will cover then? From now until June 30th next year? Is that what you?
Well, I don't think they would wanna,
we wouldn't commit the 15 until we knew the lease was renewed for.
right,
Okay.
December, right?
Okay, so, but at this point, you're willing to continue at what rate from now until December?
For the summer, it would be $75 an hour. And then we would look at fall, like fall, so what we do in the fall, I run a middle school fall league, so we have 6 communities coming in, and they play Sunday afternoons. And, to get them, it's basically get the middle school boys on the court before the
Right.
winter season. And really to get the baseball players that hadn't played, that
Yeah.
don't do the, like.
Well, and I'm just trying to figure this
Yeah.
out from a
So,
billing
like-
standpoint, because obviously we have to do something now when I get back to the office tomorrow as far as billing goes. So we have to hammer out, what is the billing cycle? What are we charging them? And is this up to a certain date or how are we handling this? Because at $75 a day, that's great. It's what you settle on. We would have to make a motion that we're charging them half of what our normally daily fee is, because the daily fee for that gym is $150 a day. And that's in our website. So I just want to make sure that there's a motion made that's what we are charging
And that's for a
them for a
nonprofit.
daily fee
For the community.
from this point till that
like
point.
a rate for nonprofit community partners.
Just so when we invoice, we have it all
Yeah,
straight.
Yeah,
They're
and
not coming to
it
us
gives
and-
you all certainty to run your program.
At least,
Right,
I mean,
doesn't hold anything up. I mean,
I think it puts us in a little bit of a pickle come when we want to do registration in the fall. If we don't
it
know.
buys us time like today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it buys us the
You know what I
summer.
mean? And we can, and the next time the committee meets, or whenever it's discussed next.
Okay,
then we can
If
we
I just-
figure that out. and I
Yeah,
do
we
it.
Yeah, it buys us the summer, but 100.
Yeah, and then we'll be farther along with the rest of, because this is just one piece of lots of ways. This is not the only
Right.
budget challenge we gotta face here. All right, so let me make an attempt. In a motion, because we gotta get to the other
Right.
meeting here.
That's okay.
Phyllis is
The-
facing.
The motion will be,
We're always late.
to reduce the daily rate for community-based organizations to 50% of the existing daily rate, which is,
Can I interject? Please. I'd be very careful, because now you're talking pickleball is gonna be paying half the daily rate. So you're gonna charge them $75 a day now to use that.
Do they?
I think it needs to be specific to them and not
For
everybody.
this summer, just this
Well,
summer.
okay, I would say.
I'm
we're
sorry, I just
trying
wanna
to
make
capture
sure
the
that
rest
we're-
of the organizations that you guys
I
highlighted.
would actually include all the stakeholders. We've been talking with them, and we're all kind of moving forward together.
So you're speaking as,
I mean, I don't wanna speak on
I
being.
mean, there's many
as an
organizations that use that
official
gym other
representative,
than,
But we've all been discussing together, and the annual contribution.
they pay nothing right now,
Okay,
which,
so 75 would be fine for them, for the interim.
It has to
Summer.
cover, hang on a second.
Yeah.
It has to cover every entity who has made a soft commitment to participate in the annual fee. That's what this motion has to cover. Is there like just because we have to say something, is there like okay, you have a list there. We'll need to see that. So
We'll put that in.
You can keep this.
let me start from scratch with the motion. The motion on the table is to reduce the daily rate for the gym to 50% of the posted rate for community members who are working towards the annual contribution strategy up until, what's the date?
When does the facilities usage form end? the.
You're the one that
We put
dictates that.
We put the format.
Yeah.
So Dawson had asked in the past us to do like each each season, do like one submittal.
So is there a summer season?
So this is the summer season, so before
Okay, so
school
when's the
starts.
summer season end?
To the
It's
conclusion of
essentially
the
through-
summer season.
Yeah, it's essentially through the end of August.
So I would make that big.
Until September first.
And then when we meet again in
And then
next
we'll
August.
We'll solve
we'll do
it. So this gets you through now.
Yep.
Moves us forward with the group, and then we will continue to engage. So is that motion clear enough? Do we have that
Second.
in favor? All right.
Alright, and then Steve, all I ask you is send me a list of days that you want, so when we bill it out properly, we're not
Okay.
hurting you
Yes,
guys.
absolutely.
And I have a list. I got it. I have it in my.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure we're not,
I need
Because a lot of
to, we're coming.
And one of the things, Dan, is,
We gotta adjourn this meeting
Yeah.
to go to the school board meeting.